and just in general the improving media world itself and the universe of Fox News. Rupert Murdoch, the big cheese here, also paying particular homage to me in this show. Without Neil Cavuto, none of this would have been possible. Dare I say, these billions probably would have at best been dozens of dollars. He didn't say that.
I want to engage both Democrats and Republicans in serious conversations about where we're going as a nation.
What he said versus how he looked the day after, a day for the president to talk about compromise. His lips are saying he's ready for it. But is his body language saying something else? We got body expert Tonya Reiman joining me now. What do you think, Tonya?
Hi, how are you? Actually, this was an interesting take because you're used to seeing him very vigorous and lively, and here it was very, monotone and downtrodden. So I was surprised. Obviously, the day after, when he's lost so much, you expect a certain level of sadness, but he was really monotonous and tense.
So what we're going to show you later, the Boehner-McConnell thing, the whole relationship with the Republican leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell. Listen to this.
I told John Boehner and Mitch McConnell last night, I am very eager to sit down with members of both parties and figure out how we can move forward together.
Okay, so there not only did you see the tenseness around the mouth area, but you actually heard the edge in his voice when he said Mitch McConnell and John Boehner, as opposed to when he later said Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid. So you notice there's a softness when he's talking about those two and a hardness or an edginess when he's talking about John Boehner.
So his body is telling him what? I have to reach out to these guys, but I'm not happy about it.
Well, not even that he's not happy about it. Just it's going to be a new turn of event, and there's still this edginess. They don't get along well yet, and I think that he's feeling that, and that comes out. And you hear it. And when we talk about nonverbal communication, one of the things we're talking about is pitch, tone, and rate, and that's something you have to listen for in addition to looking at how his body reacts.
This got a lot of buzz, the proverbial Slurpee comment. Listen to this.
I want to ask if you're going to have John Boehner over for a Slurpee, but I actually have a serious question.
I might serve, they're delicious drinks. The Slurpee Summit, that's good.
This was really funny because he's lighthearted, he's joking, he shifts his body, he leans over. But if you notice, his hands are folded when he starts the conversation. And then as he finishes up, you'll notice that his thumbs go up. Now, thumbs are dominant digits. So in essence, what he's telling you, yes, you show your thumbs to be dominant. So in essence, what he's saying is, I need to maintain control. So no matter what, oh, it's all fun and games, the thumbs come up, I'm still in control.
So I always wonder, because there is this subliminal feeling you get that Boehner and particularly and the president don't see eye to eye. I wonder if it came through here. This is from the president.
What we've been saying for a long time is let's scrap the bill. Let's start with a clean sheet of paper on those things that we can agree on.
Now that was from that health summit.
Yes, that was one of the most shocking times that I've ever seen him be so insulting. There was complete gaze avoidance, which is first and foremost the most disrespectful thing you could do, is not look at someone while they're speaking. In addition to that, he rubs the bridge of his nose, indicating not only is he bored, but now you're giving him a headache. Finally, he covers his mouth. When you cover your mouth when someone else is speaking, what you're saying is, in essence, please stop talking.
Really?
You're done. Yeah.
But he dominated that conversation.
It was terrible.
All right. Now flip it around with Boehner, who doesn't exactly hide his emotions.
Yes.
Take a look at this.
There's so many things that you just said that people on this side would profoundly disagree with. And I would have to say, based on my analysis, just aren't true.
All right, so I'm looking at a dude looking at a dude.
This was
what do
interesting.
you see there?
Here we saw, okay, so Obama is not only now fully engaged, you see a very low blink rate, which establishes his dominance. But so that's exactly
who's done?
Obama. He's leaning forward aggressively and not blinking. But then John Boehner does the same exact thing. What does he do? He also looks, and the blink rate is lowered, which means I'm giving you my full attention, but there's a level of anger there. In addition, you start to see his lips purse and pull back, which is a sign of anger as well.
Boehner doesn't strike me as a guy who's intimidated by the president.
No.
So
No, I agree, he doesn't. And I think that's why it was a pretty much like a little war, a nonverbal war going on there. You know, I'm going to stare you down if you're going to try to stare me down. But what winds up happening is frustration and anxiety leaks out, and that's what happens in the mouth.
I don't see these two guys working together that well.
I think that when I watched the entire thing, what I got the impression was that Obama would like to see that happen, but doesn't necessarily believe it's going to be as easy as he's trying to pretend it's going to be.
You know what I see? It's like when you go to a funeral. You have to go to a funeral. You know you're going to bump into people at the funeral who you don't flip over, but you do it out of obligation. But I'm wondering if neither changes their posture, whether anything comes of it besides the official motions.
I think Obama made a good point in saying that, and saying something like, look, obviously there's going to be tons of things that we can't agree on, and therefore let's put those to the side and let's try to work on what we can.
Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thumbs up. No idea that's such a powerful digit. When we come back, do any of you remember this?
The era of big government is over.
Well, that was then not quite the same deal now. Bill Clinton moving to the center.